Hey everybody, this is the Prepper Life channel. That's right, where we focus on prepping, mainly budget prepping whenever possible, because who can afford to do the kind of prepping that some people claim they do here on YouTube. But in any case, I wanted to talk about, I'm going to say what is the number one EDC, everyday carry item that I have on me, no matter where I am, all the time. That it's just, you don't see many of them, and it's very much overlooked. So, and that is, let's just get right into it. That is a traveler's belt. Okay. Well, basically what this is a nylon belt, a money belt of sorts. But money belts usually only have a real small area where it zippers, just enough to put money in. If you do your homework and you do some research, you'll find these belts with these long zippers like this one has. It starts there, goes all the way. I mean, it almost goes the full length of the belt, at least more than half of it anyway. This is my old one. Yeah, this one's a cheaper one. I think I paid like 12 bucks for it on eBay. I used it for a while, well over a year. Had a lot of stuff in it. It is 1.25 inches. And it's pretty tough. This one actually isn't nylon. I believe this one is cotton. I think this one is cotton. Yeah, see? 100% cotton. Anyway, this is my old one, so I've upgraded. And this is the one I just took off my waist now. This one's bigger, 1.5 inches. Your buckle is metal as opposed to plastic on the other one. They both hold about the same as far as how tight they get and how well they hold their spot when you put them on. Why did I get a bigger one? I got this one because part of my EDC is concealed carry. And I needed something that was a little bit better, a little bit tougher. And yes, you would be surprised, as flimsy as this looks, this is a great gun belt. It also doubles as, of course, an EDC. I just call it a prepper belt because you'll see what's in it. So, a couple things. Notice that the zipper handle is that they call that zipper handle? The zipper handle is much smaller on the bigger, more expensive one. This brand is Bison. See if you can read that. This camera's not the greatest. This is a Bison brand. It was a little more expensive. It was around 20 bucks, whereas this one was 12 bucks, 10 bucks, 12 bucks, something like that. I can't remember. In any case, so this works great as a gun belt. What gun do I carry? I carry a couple different guns. Generally, you're going to see this in my ankle holster. This is a Ruger LCP. And yes, I'm carrying it today. It does have a laser on it too. I am carrying it today, so it is loaded. It's not locked and loaded, but it is loaded for all you safety freaks out there. I don't carry a gun without bullets. I love this ankle holster too because it's comfortable in it. I can put 2 reloads in it if I want. There's one. I usually only carry 1 reload. But what do I carry on my belt? I go with the hybrid holster. It's the best compromise between comfort and concealability. Those all Kydex holsters are awful. And here's a gun you don't see every day that I've been carrying the past few weeks. This is not your typical everyday carry gun. The PMR 30. How about that? Let me tell you something. This gun's awesome as a carry gun. Why? Fully loaded, 18.8 ounces, 30 rounds of 22 Magnum. 18.8 ounces? What? I mean, boom. Awesome. So, any case, it's a little eye candy there we'll put in the back. All right. So let's get to the belt. I love these things. This is the most important EDC item that I have. Without a doubt, it's the most important thing that I always carry everywhere I go. You can see the belt just looks like a typical Cordura style nylon belt. It one size fits all pretty much, unless you're a child or a woman with a real small waist, but they do make them for women and children. And this is the beauty of it. Again, it has a long, more than 2/3 of the belt is zipper and can hold a lot of stuff. So what do I have in my EDC prepper belt? Let's unzip this puppy. All right, we'll start down on the end here. Cash money, cash money. Got $100. Now I break this down into 20s, 10s, and 5s. So that, or no, I'm sorry, there's a 50 in there. 50s and 20s and 10s in this one. Another $100 here, all 20s. You can see that they're sealed in plastic. Sealed, as in like waterproof sealed. Okay. So we got some cash. Now if I want smaller bills, 5s, I have 5 5s here, $25. So at any given moment, I'm carrying $225 on me, which is great. That's enough. If something was to happen, somebody robbed me and I didn't get a chance to get them with my pistol, or wasn't worth, getting into a firefight or something like that, there's a really slim chance they're going to say, give me your belt, because they're going to have no idea that I'm wearing a belt with money and other things in it. And there's enough money here, if I had to, I could get a room somewhere. I could get a cab, from just about anywhere to anywhere. Really important. And this is money I just accept. I'm never going to spend unless there's an emergency. I saved up, got this money together, and this is purely my EDC money for emergencies only. Okay, so that's the first thing. Let's get into this belt here. So the money fits in these areas. Got some Band-Aids. I cut myself, somebody else cuts himself. Good thing to have. Notice I wrap and seal everything in plastic. I tape it shut, and then I usually get a lighter and lighter the edges. So we get some Band-Aids. Moving on down. Now we get to this area. This is a laminated piece of paper with all of the most important people and their phone numbers in my life, right here. I've been in a situation before where I lost everything on me, and I didn't have, being that we're lazy now and we have smartphones, you don't memorize a lot of numbers. At least I don't. Maybe you guys do. So this way I have them on me. I know who I can call and how to reach them. Matches. Couldn't fit a whole pack in there, so I cut it pack in half. Emergency matches. Huge. All right, and then we have the Victorinox Classic. For anybody that doesn't or never has had one of these knives, you got to go get one right now. You'll pick them up on eBay for $10. You pick them at Target for $15. These knives are awesome. You have your blade, typical penknife blade. Have your file. You want to keep your man nails nice and pretty. This little screwdriver tip will fit. It's designed to fit in flathead and most, I'm going to say that again, most, what's it called? Phillips head, for instance. And you can see here, look, it fits perfect in there. So yeah. But the best part about Victorinox knives is their scissors. Wenger makes knives with scissors, other cheaper brands do, and their scissors just suck. These scissors are so fine on a Victorinox. You could cut the hairs off a gnat's ass with these things. And then for people that might need it, you got tweezers, right? So I got Band-Aids and tweezers. I got to pull some splinters out. Very fine tweezers, super fine. And then the thing that you'll always lose in these knives if you carry them around is the toothpick. And it's never real sharp on the end, so you always have to sharpen it a little extra. And generally that's the first thing that gets lost when you carry one of these knives. Victorinox Classic. You need a Victorinox Classic if you don't have one. But I carry two. I carry one. This is the Classic that I carry in my belt, which obviously I'm never going to pull out unless there's a huge emergency. And then I carry the money clip version, clipped to my pocket. And this has all the same stuff on it, minus the tweezers and the toothpick. Now, these are awesome knives, but they're expensive. They run about $30 to $40 in that range, but it's worth it. I highly recommend. Victorinox is a wonderful brand, amazing quality, awesome knife. So anyway, I'm sidetracking here. Okay, so let's keep going. What do we have here? Acetaminophen. This is Tylenol. Yeah, 8 500 milligram Tylenols. 4,000 milligrams of Tylenol. You're stuck somewhere. Let's say EMP happens. You're somewhere far away. You have to walk miles and miles. You got blisters on your feet. You're hurt. Whatever it might be, you got some painkillers here. And they're legal, so you don't have to worry about getting in trouble for carrying something illegal. Really important thing. And this comes along right with it. These are caffeine tablets. These are no-dos. They're like the store brand no-dos. Each one is 200 milligrams of caffeine. these 8 caffeine tablets will get me miles and miles where I need to go. You think about it, you know, if you end up having to hump it 10, 20 miles home during some like calamity or emergency, you're gonna be really happy to have this caffeine on you to keep you going. If you have to stay awake, you're in a situation where it's dangerous to fall asleep. Caffeine pills. Just think about that. Think about how important that really is in an emergency situation. And again, I have a real bug out story that I will talk about on one of these videos someday. And yeah, I really could have used this during that. All right. What do we have here? Change. $2.25. If I have to use a payphone, I have these quarters. I have enough to make a call to just about anywhere. I think $2 is enough to make a long distance call anywhere in the United States or Canada or Mexico. So, you know, between this and the phone numbers I have, somebody robs me, steals my cell phone, I'm good. I'll find a payphone. I can call who I need to call. What do we have here? Oh, we have a handcuff key. I keep it up here. This is where the top of the zipper is. That way I know where it is. If my hands are cuffed behind me, I can slip my belt around to the back. I can unzip it and reach in and snag this out and just break it through the plastic. So, yeah. Highly doubt I'd ever need to use this. Maybe I have to uncuff somebody else, a family member, a friend, maybe someone. Maybe I'm freeing somebody who's, you know, I sneak up and I can get them loose. Boom, uncuff them. So this is a house key to my house. That's useful, right? You know, what happens if somebody steals my keys? Well, guess what? I got a house key. No problem. No sweat. I make it home. I take my caffeine pills, march 20 miles home, have my Tylenol because the blisters on my feet, Band-Aids for the blisters. When I get home, I'm getting in the house. House key. Get down to the end here. Something you wouldn't think about. Phone charger. Why not? Why not? You find a USB somewhere you can plug your phone in and charge it. Think about that. Yes, I do use I prefer Android phones over iPhones. I can't patronize Apple because they charge way too much for what they have and they rip you off, in my opinion, with their pricing. If you like Apples, though, hey, man, you know, rock on for you. But I just, for the price of an Apple phone, I can get a really, really hardcore Android phone that does the same and a lot more if you're comparing dollar to dollar. So yeah, think about all this. You know, keys to the house, Band-Aids. Who doesn't need Band-Aids once in a while? Painkillers, caffeine, change for whatever. It might not be a payphone. Maybe I'm walking a bazillion miles and I want to stop and maybe I just want to get, you know, a drink out of the, I don't want to tear into my cash. Great, I can pull out these quarters, I can get a drink. Victorinox, classic, keychain knife. Get one if you don't have one. Get a belt if you don't have one. I mean, you can imagine how useful all of this is. Matches, always good to have fire starting capabilities, right? Phone numbers, names and numbers of people who matter and who are important. Make sure it's laminated. This is laminated and then taped so that it's waterproof and it won't get destroyed if I have to jump off a bridge into a river or something. And of course, the old cashola. Gotta have some cashola. I'm actually debating on whether to throw another $100 in this belt just to have, you know, a pretty substantial amount of money on me at all times. It's just, you know, who has the money to spare $100 that you're probably never going to use? You know, maybe, who knows? Maybe you get stuck. Maybe you get stuck way far away and you need to get a train ticket. Maybe there's not end of the world calamity going on. Maybe you lose your wallet. Maybe it gets stolen. Maybe someone pickpockets your wallet. Well, guess what, dude? I'm good, man. I'll be fine. I could probably get a train from one side of the country to the other for $225. So yeah, highly, highly, highly recommend this belt. It's made by Bison. I just ordered mine on eBay. I'm not affiliated with the Bison Belt Company or anything. They do have, there is a company that has seen a few of my older videos, and they did send me an email saying that they wanted to send me a belt to do a review on. So look for that in the future. You know, and I'm not just going to give them a good review because they sent me a free belt. If I don't like the belt, I'm going to tell you that I don't like the belt. So in any case, when you look for these belts, make sure you pay attention to the zipper. You want as long of a zipper pocket as possible. And when this thing's full with gear, it's a pretty thick belt. It gets pretty thick, so, which is actually good when you're doing it inside the waistband concealed carry, because it adds a lot of rigidity and stiffness to it. Keep your gun in place. So yeah, things to look for, like I said, long zipper, long pouch. Go with the bigger belt. Go with 1.5 over 1 inch or 1.25 inches. If you're having trouble finding these, do a search for Traveler's Belt, and you'll see a bunch. You'll get a bunch of hits for things like fanny packs and whatnot. But type in Bison. Bison, that's the name brand. I don't know if you can read that. Bison Money Belt or Bison Traveler Belt. They make them leather too. If you want to have a leather belt that, you know, let's say you work where you have to wear, you know, nice dress pants and tuck in your shirt kind of deal. That way you can have a belt that keeps you ready. The leather ones, I did have one. I gave it away. The leather ones don't hold as much because this part's leather too, and it doesn't stretch out like this nylon type material does. But look for a larger area. You know, what are these good for? Well, obviously, like I said, this is the #1 EDC carry item that I carry. It's the most important thing to me because this belt keeps me so much more prepared than even most preppers. You know, just having this belt, not including my gun or my knife. And what knife was I carrying today? Oh yes, the Voyager. Cold Steel Voyager Tonto version. Badass knife. So sharp. Oh, these knives are sharp. Yeah, this is my tactical blade. What else do I carry as far as a knife? This is the one I use the most. It's a Gerber utility knife. It doesn't come with this skateboard tape. I did that to add some grip to it. Dude, I use this thing every day. Opening packages, picking out splinters, whatever it might be. So yeah, as you can see, I do carry a few blades on me. And of course I have this one too, which definitely comes in second as far as how much usage that it gets. But yeah, Traveler's Belt, Money Belt. Even if you just get a Money Belt and you do the basics, you put the loot in there, right? And you put phone numbers and names of the most important people in your life that you may need to call in an emergency. I mean, you're already way ahead of just about everyone else who would have to carry all this stuff in their wallet. They lose their wallet, they're screwed. Somebody takes all my knives, you know, screwed. I still have a knife, don't I? Yep, still got a knife. Like I said, I got to travel. I'm in pain. I'm sick. Say I come down with a bad cold of the flu and I still have to keep on my feet. Boom. This combined with this, I'm good to go, man. I got 20 miles in me easy. So just one of these items that nobody ever really talks about. I've seen a few videos, prepping videos, where people have belts. One guy made one himself, which was pretty cool. Leather belt. He cut out sections to fit things in, but then he had to wrap it in paracord in order to keep everything in. So you're wearing a big bulky paracord belt, which is kind of goofy. This is sort of low key. Just looks like a normal belt. No one's really going to think that you're carrying a money belt, that you have all these goodies on you, and you're going to be the most prepared guy out there, even if you lose everything but your belt. So I have a couple more videos coming, a few other items I wanted to go over in detail. But if you're asking, if you were to ask a prepper life, what is the #1 thing that I can do? What's the first thing I should get as a prepper? You should get one of these belts. And you should pack it with whatever fits your needs the best. And this stuff fits most people's needs pretty well. It's going to cover most of your bases. So I appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe. I know I've been slow on the videos. I've just been busy. I'm a busy dude, man. I'm a stay-at-home dad, retired guy who stays home with the children. I'm a busy guy. So, but I have found some time. I'm working on that. I'll be doing a lot more useful videos about useful things like this that you're not going to see pretty much anywhere else. Appreciate you watching. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. Comments are what, keeps these videos going, keeps the thoughts and the brain churning, and which is the important part, that we all learn from each other. And go to the other prepper site, the other prepper videos, give them all a thumbs up too, so that the rest of the world can start prepping, so that when the crap hits the fan, everybody's not pounding on your door. Thanks for watching, folks. Check in soon, and we'll have some more useful stuff coming up. Later.